Hey there, it's Smitty. This is my recap video of Ballarat's Strongest Man.
Daniel, hi. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Your first comp?
Yeah.
You gonna win?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very confident, not getting too cocky?
No, all the competitors are against me.
Oh, okay. So does that mean you lose as well?
Yeah.
First and last?
Yeah.
Alright, have a good day.
Thanks.
So the weekend just gone, Saturday the 6th of April, we went to Ballarat to compete in Ballarat's Strongest Man. The comp was on a Sunday, we went up on the Saturday, which was actually my birthday, and Alira organised a surprise dinner with a few of the people that were up there. It was a surprise for me, it wasn't a surprise for them. They knew they were going to the surprise dinner. That photo's just of Alira and I in the new hoodies that we got. That has nothing really to do with the trip, but it happened that weekend. Emma and Helene made me a cake of the power stairs. If you want to know why that's funny, then go and watch my Arnold's recap videos and you'll find that it's not funny. It's actually quite hurtful and mean. Anyway, the comp started very early in the morning. It was nice and cold, nice and fresh. Being run by Kay Hodgson up in Ballarat. She'd hired out this shed at the showgrounds. Anthony Rogers was there to take photos. And the competition was called Ballarat's Strongest Man. I think I had 7 or 8 people competing, as well as myself. And it was just a whale of a time, a really good competition, a lot of new faces and a lot of familiar faces from over the years. And I just really had a positive feeling about the competition. Felt like the sport's growing and it's moving in a great direction. You're allowed to choose your own weights for all of them, apart from the truck pull. And when you've got competitions like that where you can choose your own weights, that's great for beginners and first timers or people within their 1 or 3 competitions, because they can train for that competition without needing to hit certain weights. They can just aim for a 2.5 or 5 kilo PB. So I really love having those options and those kind of competitions. So I'm going to run through my events for the day and how I did personally, because I love myself and everything's about me. And then go through a few highlights from just my athletes in particular. There are many highlights throughout the day, but I can only speak from my athletes and things that I saw. First event was the bench press. This is me opening with 115, and I felt a little bit of pain in my rear delt. You can see it slows up at the end there. My second was 120, and that flew up even faster. And then I left it there. I didn't take a third lift. Bench press for me is quite damaging to the body, but looking at that video now, it looks like 130 definitely would have gone up, and 135 I think I could have grinded out. And that just would have been an equal PB for me. I've hit 135 in competition before in a powerlifting meet, so going for an equal PB and risking hurting myself really didn't interest me at all. I just left it at 120 there with little pain and took that as a win. Then we went on to the deadlift. I believe I opened with 235, which goes up nicely. The platform was on a little bit of an angle, which comes into play on the next lift. Second lift was 250, went up nicely because of my Big Mac socks. And then I went for, let me pause it, this is 270, this is 270 kilos, which would be a PB for mixed grip, PB for powerlifting rules. I've hit 255 in a powerlifting meet, same thing, it was like back in 2015, and that was a PB at the time. I'd never lifted more than 250 even with straps. 270 would be a PB, and I don't know why I didn't go for 260 really. I don't know, I knew that I could lift 270, that's why. Anyway, I'll play the video. Goes up okay, get the down call, and then so here's a zoom in. You can just see it didn't really slip in the hand till right at the top there, and it was because that angle there, see I'm on my toes and rocking forward. That's why I zoomed in there. So that the kind of tilt that I was on, made worse by the shoes that I've got on, made me rock forward a little bit, so maybe that had an effect on why I dropped the bar. That's never happened before. I've never had grip issues. Didn't have issues warming up. The bar was grippy. It was quite sharp and painful, but it was definitely grippy. I was pretty shattered with that because I hate missing lifts. When I'm choosing my own lifts, I always, I pride myself on choosing the right numbers for me and being able to choose the right numbers for my athletes. I believe that's a great skill that I have. So to miss a lift, I felt really disappointed in myself, and to miss to lift it and then miss it due to grip. I was actually pretty disappointed with that. Then we went on to the clean and press. I opened with 110. Bit worried about the slippery surface. You can see my back foot does slide around a little bit, but that went up okay. We moved on to 115. not too shabby at all. The jerks always feel fine for me. They feel good. It's just if I can catch the clean. And then I just went up to 120, which probably moved just as good as the other ones.
Yes, up. Easy.
Yeah. Nice.
Up.
Good boy.
Nice.
So they were pretty comfortable lifts. That's something that I have worked on a lot in the past, obviously with CrossFit, and then even when I first stopped CrossFitting and moved to Strongman, I still kept doing cleans. Now, power cleans are something that I might do once a month. My PB on this, I think, is either 120 or 125. I've jerked one. Alira's in the garage of dreams, just making some noise. I've jerked 140 from the racks, and I've cleaned 130 in last year's Open, so I would have liked to have clean and jerked 130 at this competition, and I believe I could have. I was just doing enough to get the win in that event, and I think it was Joel. Joel was right behind me, lifting some really good weights as well. I think he got up to 110 and might have missed 115. That's really strong as well. So I was just doing what I needed on that event, knowing that that was only 3 events down, and there was 3 events to go. Yoke, I chose 320 kilos, which wouldn't be a PB, enough to win the event. This was really freaking heavy. This particular yoke I find really hard to breathe on, so you can see I'm moving quite well, and then I just got so dizzy, I just wasn't able to get any breaths in. I got so dizzy and had to drop, so I decided here I'm just going to hold my breath and try and make it the rest of the way, and then same thing, start moving well, and then literally start seeing stars and need to drop it. So yeah, it felt really fine on the legs. It felt okay on the back, not great. I mean, it's 320. And then after that moment, as soon as I finished there, I took my belt off and then actually almost fell to the ground. Alira was there and actually caught me. I didn't faint, but I definitely felt faint and felt dizzy, which has never happened before. And it was as soon as I took my belt off, it was like the blood rushed from wherever it was, rushed to my head or rushed from my head, and I had to go sit down after that for 10 or 15 minutes. By that stage it was about 4 p.m. and I was feeling extremely exhausted, so I sat down for the first time all day after that event just to try and undizzy myself and have some sour Skittles, and then we got ready for Atlas Stones. Atlas Stones opened on 120 here. I still hadn't quite put tacky on, so I had to tack up once they'd blown the whistle. 120 went up, no issues. Moved on to 140. I can't remember really what I was thinking at this stage as to why I was doing the weights I was doing. This goes over okay. It wasn't too convincing. That was the final stone. 140 was the final stone back at the Arnold's, which was to 1.3. So I just thought that was a pretty safe option to go for 140 to 1.2 meters high. For my third attempt, I decided to go for 170. The reason I didn't go for 160 is because that would be an equal PB, and I just really wasn't interested in getting an equal PB. And this 170 is slightly smaller than a previous 170 that I've tried, so I thought maybe I'd have a chance of lifting it. And I just don't know where to go from here with this 170 stone. Strength feels fine. It goes up pretty well. It feels, I'm not going to say it feels light, but it feels pretty easy coming up, and then I just have nowhere to go. Like, I can't get it up high enough to start rolling it back onto my knees. So Alira asks here if I want some tacky, which I did, so I re-tacked up. Tried again and gave it a bit more oomph on this side, on this turn, sorry. I went a slightly wider stance to see if that helped. I don't think it did. If you've got any ideas, please let me know, but it's not... I'll play it again here with a pause. It's not that I don't want the suggestion of you just need stronger hamstrings or anything. I need some positions and some ideas on what to do from here. So I lifted it pretty high. You can see my butt's pretty high up. Maybe I need to stay over it longer. Maybe my arms need to be further in front so I can roll it back. I haven't tried a second time there. So I'm kind of stuck on where to go with that, and it's tough because you can't practice on a lighter stone because the lighter stones are smaller, the diameter's smaller, and then the technique becomes a lot easier. But yeah, that's something I'm going to have to figure out, and I'm sure I will. It's just going to take a little bit of time. And then the last event for the day, event 6, was the truck pull. Alira missed the first 10 seconds of my pull where I actually moved the truck, and then it kind of hit this bump for everyone. About a meter in, it just hits this ridge, and then it was hard to move. I'm not going to say immovable, but it became very difficult. Only, maybe 2 or more guys across all weight categories managed to finish the event or move it past that meter. So yeah, I think I won that event with like a meter 5 1 metre and 5 centimetres or something like that, whereas the other boys were getting 95 centimetres or 90 centimetres. It was still very exhausting and tough on the biceps. But that was my day. That was the 6 events. That was enough for first place. Here's some cute little pickies. This is my crew. So we had a big crew representing Victorian Strength Club at Ballarat Strongest Man. I was just super proud of how they all performed. Everyone hit PBs. Everyone was polite and courteous. Everyone just represented myself, or represented my brand the way that I'd hoped they would. Scotty took equal first place in the under 105s. Him and Luke tied on points, and they also on countback were tied. So they gave them both first place, which I thought was pretty cool. Jacqueline here won the open category, which was very close all day, and actually came down to the last event where Jacqueline won the truck pull, which was enough for Jacqueline to overtake and win by half a point. So that was pretty amazing. Young Daniel here, 14-year-old prodigy, first place in the teens. He was the only one in his category. Regardless, he won the Spirit of the Day award, competed to his potential, was smiling and laughing all day as he always is, and it was just a fantastic day for him. Big Ben, first strongman competition, competed in the 105s, did really well for himself, hit some PBs. He was happy with his performance, I was happy with his performance. Wade was in the under 90s with myself, so he placed second, so if I wasn't there, Wade would have a trophy. Wade, I don't coach or program for at the moment, but he's like an adopted part of the team and someone that I'm going to work with moving forward. Exciting things to happen for Wade, I reckon. Big Loz here, first strongman competition, under 80s, first place. Again, came down to the last event, or it was like he might have won by 1 point overall or something. So his story for the day was, it was very much smart third attempts and smart attempts for him to stay a point ahead or maybe take a second. A little bit of luck with some people tying on the stones actually helped him. A really great day for him, I was stoked for him. The girls, Helene and Emma, competing together for the third time. Helene placed third, had a great day in the open category, and Emma in the under 65s, 4th out of 4. But again, a really solid performance. I was stoked for her. Along with super fan and super coach and super just everything extraordinaire, Alira. It was just a damn good day. Some highlights for me from a coach's perspective, or some amazing things that my friends and athletes did. Jacqueline loaded the 100 kilo stone, which was a PB, and I mean 100 kilos is just a huge milestone for females and males. Helene with the 100 as well straight after, absolutely amazing, a PB and a milestone. Scotty benched 190, the bloke's off his nut, honestly. That was with a bad pec too, that's just crazy. Daniel deadlifted 190 kilos, gets red flagged for a hitch, I believe. I'll let you be the judge of that one. That was superb. Scotty, 250 kilo deadlift, which is a PB. Long time coming. He will hit 260 at his next strongman competition. Big Ben, 240 kilo yoke, which was a PB. And not only that, but he ran with it, or walked rather fast with it. For someone so new to it, that's a really fast pace for 240. He also deadlifted 195, which was a PB. That was on his second attempt. Missed 205 due to grip. Emma, 125 kilo deadlift, which is a 2.5 kilo PB on her sumo deadlift, and that one flew up. Jacqueline, PB, 150 kilos, slowed up a little bit there at lockout, but that was a PB for her. Helene, 150 kilo deadlift, did so well not to hitch just until it got stuck on the legs, got red flagged for a hitch. Still a PB, 150 kilos, stoked for her. Bit of attitude. Lawrence, 195 kilos, so good not to hitch there at the end. Same thing, got stuck on the legs. For a first competition, to show that much composure and not hitch at the end, that's pretty fantastic. 110 kilo stone for Lawrence, which was a PB. That was on his second attempt. And then Daniel, 120 kilos for a PB, and he gets right into it.
Stand it up. Stand up, stand up!
Yeah. So that was Ballarat's Strongest Man, a successful day and a fun day. Thank you very much to Kay and all her helpers and organisers and everyone involved. If you're interested in online programming or coaching, please check out victorianstrengthclub.com.au. If you have any questions about how to train for strongman, check out my other videos and send me an email. Next competition for us will be the Victorian Log, Deadlift and Stone Championships at Iron Revolution in May. Until then, take it sleazy, enjoy your training, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
We always seem to